his first big time in the spotlight was as in politics, actually, in Ohio. He was mayor of Cincinnati. I think he was also city councilman. In the early 90s, he started some TV show with his name in it. I think you guys know a little bit about that. He was really into politics, and he actually became a radio talk show host. He also decided to join a show called Dancing with the Stars. And that led him actually to hosting America's Got Talent on NBC, the top summer. To hear him talk about in the entertainment industry, a little bit of politics, whatever he feels like talking about, here is Jerry Springer.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I always start off by saying, may you never be on my show. And I can see for a couple of you that's a little late. But I can't help but note, obviously, this is 9/11. And so it was frightening, it really was. It was frightening for our kids, and we all had the conversation, with our families. So it was tough. And the immediate response was, certainly in my lifetime, the country came together like never before. Organizations weren't there. And you could see the wonderful human stories of how we responded to the firefighters and the first responders and the people running away from the building with that cloud of smoke, dust, debris, and store owners saying, come in here to strangers of every color, of every religion, no question what language did you speak, nothing. Everyone, it was humanity reaching out. And it was, in a sense, America at its best. 99.9% of us will leave this earth because of an accident or an illness. So I start thinking, if virtually all of us are one day going to leave this planet because of an illness or an accident, shouldn't we be defending against that at least as much as we would defend against a plane hitting a building we're in? Where's the logic? And yet, every time we talk about health care for everybody, oh, what's that going to cost? No. And all these excuses come. All these excuses. There are some problems we don't know how to solve. But having health insurance for everyone, we know how to solve it. We may not want to do it, but we know how to solve it. For example, we have Medicare, right? Most senior citizens figure, okay, I just got to be 65, Medicare works. It works. So if it works for people 65 and older, why can't it work for people under 65? So we know how to do it. You can come back at me and say, yeah, but that's going to be expensive if we have Medicare for everybody. Yes. But you didn't say it was expensive when we went after Osama bin Laden. The company that owned the station, the NBC affiliate where I did the news in Cincinnati, Channel 5, also owned talk shows. They owned Phil Donahue, Sally Jesse Raphael. So one day, the CEO, Walter Bartlett, takes me to lunch and says, Jerry, Phil's getting close to retirement. We're going to start another talk show, and you're the host. What's a talk show? I mean, if you're a grown-up, you didn't know at that point. I never watched talk shows. I was working during the day. I mean, they said, no, you can make it political, but you're going to do it. So I was assigned it. I mean, I didn't audition. I didn't try out. And they let me do the news, too. So I would fly to Chicago in the morning to do the talk show, and then in the afternoon fly back, because I did the news at 5:30, 6, and 11 every night, well, Monday through Friday. And I did that for a year and a half, and that got to be too much, 5 times a week flying between Cincinnati and Chicago. So finally then the show started to catch on, and I gave up the news and did the show. It was just a normal talk show in the beginning. Now there were 20 talk shows at the time, and everyone was trying to be Oprah. Everyone was At the time, they called the demographic middle-aged housewives. And every talk show was trying to appeal to middle-aged housewives. So I thought, why not have a talk show for kids? And when I say kids, I meant high school and college, you know, late teens, early 20s. A fraternity party. So we said, from now on, we're only going to have young people in the audience, young people on stage, I mean mostly, young people on stage, and young subject matter. That was the decision, to go young, not to go crazy. Well, young people are crazy. And they're much more open about their lifestyles. And then the show started going off the charts. Universal bought us. And when Universal bought us, they called us in and said, from now on, you're only allowed to do crazy. And that's true. So if someone calls us with a warm, uplifting story, we're not allowed to take it. We have to send them to another show.